Three, two, one. And we're live on Facebook. Yes. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Lulu, a.k.a. the Mom Nutrition, coming at y'all live this afternoon with just an episode that I'm calling Moms Speak. I didn't know what else to call it except Mom Speak. So I have the beautiful Jania Moore and even more beautiful Stephanie in the building. So I'm going to let the moms introduce themselves. We've got two people watching, so this is great. I'm going to let the moms introduce themselves and just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, how you're doing with your, first of all, your name, of course, if you want to, and then your children, if you have any grandchildren, and then we'll take it from there. So we're going to start with Miss Jania because she's on my extreme right. Miss Jania, want to take it away?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jania Moore, also known as the Fire Starter. And I am so glad to be on Dr. Lulu's show. And with all the moms that's getting ready to come up, this is going to be a good time. So right now, I need y'all to start sharing and inviting, okay? Share and invite this because we're going to be talking to the moms. We're going to be talking to the parents. We're going to be talking to the teens. And we're going to be giving you guys a live testimonies on things that's going on. So I am a transitional life coach, certified, is stamped and approved, okay? And I'm also the CEO of Saved Over Success. So what I like to do is just motivate people. Can't you tell? I like to uplift everyone. I like to get people going. But sometimes we just got to talk about the hard conversations in order to get to some better days. And that's what we're going to be doing today.
That's right. That's right. Let's hear it from Miss Janae. All right. Miss Stephanie, you is next. Stephanie is also a mom in the San Antonio area. And Stephanie, I have to say something. She reached out to me today. She was like, listen, I want to do this. I'm like, come on, let's do it. And so Miss Stephanie is in the house. So Miss Stephanie is going to tell us a little bit about yourself. You're just going to do a brief introduction and then we'll take it away. All right, Miss Stephanie, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Lulu. And I don't think my energy, I think my energy probably pales in comparison to Janae's, but I'll try. I'm a mom in San Antonio. I am a former school counselor. I'm kind of in a career transition right now, starting to do some writing. And I'm, of course, interested in being here for this event that's going on in our history and, doing what I can. Whatever I can in my sphere of influence.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll take it. But I also see something is about to happen here. Ms. Jania just said she's a transition coach, and you just said you're in transition. So do I hear wedding bells ringing? I love it. I love it. I love it. And the next person is Miss Jasmine Vasquez. Miss Jasmine is also a mom in the San Antonio area. So Miss Jasmine, can you introduce yourself and tell us about how you're doing your, just whatever. Just introduce yourself. Oh, no. All right. She's going to try back. Okay, I'm going to let you come back. So I'm going to introduce Miss Andrea and then I'll come back to Jania. Miss Jasmine, excuse me. So Miss Andrea Moore is the other mom that we have in the building. Andrea and I go way back, like sisters. Andrea is a busy woman. She's a woman about town. So Miss Andrea, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. She's my soul sister. Take it away, sis.
Yes. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I am Andrea A. Moore. I am a mother of 3 here in Central Texas. And I feel like I am a woman of all trades. Most of all, I just do what I'm told. I just listen to the spirit and I work with it. So here I am with Dr. Lulu and friends. And I'm excited that she invited me because I can talk and I'm a mom. And I'm a mom with a purpose, a 9-to-5 and a few businesses. So we are working and moving and shaking.
That's right. We is moving and we is shaking. Jasmine, that is coming from the Hispanic end of things. So she's been having a lot of technical difficulties, but this is the problem, or this is the beauty of doing stuff live. You don't get a chance to edit it. So we have 10 people watching us and we're going to press on. So my first question goes to Miss Andrea, believe it or not, and the last shall be the first. Miss Andrea, You are an African American mom. Okay. Can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about just how are you doing right this moment? Like right this moment at 2:08 p.m. How are you doing, Miss Andrea? Really?
I'm frustrated. I am very frustrated because unfortunately the current events that have happened, I'm an empath, so I feel a lot of things that other people may not feel. And so I'm frustrated is the only word I can think of right now. I believe in positive words. Dr. Lulu knows this. I'm all about affirmations. But today, all I could say was help. That's really how I'm feeling as an African American mom with two sons and a daughter, because we can't forget about Miss Sandra, passing near Houston some years ago. So I am frustrated. That's the only word I got for you today, Dr. Lulu.
And you know what? I have a lot of respect for that because they do say, and I wrote it just before, I wrote it about an hour ago on my page. They said, you have to embrace your weaknesses so that you can come in the full strength of your strengths, full manifestation of your strengths. So the two words that are very, very important in life are reach and out. You are reaching out. You're saying help. And you know what? Most of us don't want to say that. We don't want to admit that we get those weak moments when we want to say help. I am reaching out because I'm saying help. I can't do this by myself. I've looked at my kids up, down, sideways, and sideways. I have no answers. So I'm like, I'm going to reach out to other moms like me. Now you know where I'm coming from. I'm going to reach out to other moms. Maybe y'all have something to tell me that I don't know that I can learn from. And that is exactly why I'm so proud of Miss Stephanie, just putting herself out there. She's like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna speak because she's hurting like you're hurting. And I love the word you use, empath. I'm also an empath. I cry when folks are crying. I cry all day. I cry more than them. So yes, this is such a beautiful thing. Miss Jasmine, are you able to come on yet, ma'am?
Wait, did we hear something?
No. I think it's your. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. So my next question is going to be for Miss Jania Moore. Miss Jania, how are you doing? How are you doing, honestly? And I happen to know that Miss Jania has three sons, just like me. So Jania, from one mother of three boys to another mother of three Black boys, how are you doing, sister?
It's hard. As we're seeing more and more videos, I think this by far hit me the worst because I mean, you literally saw the life leaving. You know, it was so up in your face, and it was hard. It's my son, which is driving right now, is a football player, so he goes out and he runs all the time. This is what he does: hoodie on, or t-shirt on, or whatever, and then you just automatically say he's a suspect or something. Or you just want to say, why are you in this area? Because he's running near where we live around a lot of houses, although we're in an apartment, So I tell him all the time, let me know where you're going. Let me know where your route is. Text me, every so often, or I'm texting him, where are you? How far are you from the house? Because the way Texas is, it's nothing straight. You can go one way and end up 2 miles around on the same block. And you 2 miles away from your home, and you just walked and just said, okay, I'll take this route, and then just you somewhere else, right? So it's nervous wracking, and with everything going on, what you don't want to do is be in fear. You don't want to have fear, but you do want to be concerned. And that's okay to be concerned. I cried when I saw the video of George. I literally cried. Because that's it could be our uncles, it could be our brothers, it could be our family members, and once again, it could be somebody that we just don't know, but that you literally, and then also too, watching those that was recording, watching those that was just standing by, that wanted to jump in, and having that fear of their life being taken, it gives you so many emotions that you have to deal with. But I have to teach my Black boys, young men, my oldest is 18 now, driving. Now we got to certain conversations. Like, I think people don't realize how that feels as a mother to have to get at a certain age. You got to have a certain conversation with your kids. Like, they can't just be a typical, now he's 18 years old, he's 6'2", football player, about 240, so he got weight on him. Not aggressive to me, or to, you know what I'm saying, but maybe appeared to be aggressive to someone else just cause. That can be scary.
It's very
for
scary.
a parent that feel like you don't have no control, that you have no you know what I'm saying, because someone wants to take something from you. Yes. It makes you real nervous.
Yes, ma'am. And I love what you said about you. I love the way you put it. You don't want to live in fear, but you have to be concerned. And so Miss Tiffany, whoever is joining us right now is not going to know that we've been struggling to get Miss Jasmine Vasquez on, because really what I wanted to do was get a good representation of the major ethnic groups in America, if I can use that word. And so with all due respect to anyone who is joining us now, we literally are trying to get Miss Jasmine on, but she's having difficulty with technology. But Miss Stephanie, you reached out to me. I love that. You saw my video and said, I want to do this. And then, of course, when I went through your page, I was like, oh, yeah, you need to do this. So, Miss Stephanie, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Okay, so first of all, I don't want to even presume to give the impression that I can truly know what it's like to be a Black woman raising young Black men. I don't to give that impression, but because I'm a white woman, a middle-class white woman raising a white daughter. But you know, so I'm struggling for sure. I'm struggling with what's going on. I know a lot of people are struggling and we want to do what we can do. But you know, I'm glad you're looking at this from a mom perspective. I think it's so important. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Yeah. And you know, we have some cradle rockers who need to get it together and need to think about what is happening with their children, what they are ingraining in those children, and the messages they are getting from the way they talk on a daily basis, from the media they consume, from all of that. So, I mean, I think it's really important. I'm extremely honored and grateful that you included me in this. And I just know we need to work together to make things different.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? No one is saying anything. I mean, it's clear from your voice, from your demeanor, from your energy that this is definitely affecting you. And you know, anyone who is not affecting, I have to just say, you must be part of the problem, because there's no way you will not be. You have a child, you birth your child. And I love the way you said the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. This is the fundamental truth. It's why they call it Mother Earth. They don't say Father Earth, they say Father Time. But they don't call it Father Earth, they call it Mother Earth. So women, we have to come out and represent and, of course, rule the world. So I'm going to come back. My next question is for Miss Jania Moore. You have a son, you just told us he's 18 years old, he's 6 foot, he's a football player. How do you feel? Because when I tell people that every night when my kids go out to walk the dog, I literally tell them, make sure you come back. People look, they like, what do you mean? I mean that Trayvon Martin went around the corner and he didn't come back. I mean that George Floyd went to the grocery store and he didn't come back. I mean that Sandra Bland down the street from all 4 of us in Texas here went about her business and didn't come back. And we can keep going on and on and on. But even worse, there's some in their backyard that didn't come back indoors. So, Miss Jania, how...
You're on it. You're on it, Doc. You're on it. You're on it right there. Why? And the whole point, they don't get it. Like, how do you teach them when they don't understand? How do you explain to this generation, you know, what, X, Y, Z, whatever it is right now? that they really don't understand that the racism is still real because somebody told them to that's just old textbook, that's their grandmother's issues, that's their great grandma's issues, you know? And how do you explain to them in all severity, because the teaching they're teaching, that's old, that race, that's old, that was slavers back then, you know? And you like, be careful, watch what you do, watch what you say, where you go, the simple things. I'm not concerned about you, I'm concerned about those around you. Go part, please. I'm concerned about those that's going to be affected, that may affect you. That you're doing the simple things in life is not simple anymore. How do you explain that to your teens in a way that they can understand, and that they don't live in fear now, or they don't be closed-minded to someone like Stephanie that comes to them and talk to them, that they don't have it in their mind that, oh, I don't know if I should trust her, I don't know if she really cares, you know, or XYZ, because of the simple things in life has become complicated. So we got to inform them. Go ahead, doctor. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was going to say I can hear your heart. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got to form them in a way where we're not teaching fear once again, because the world wants us to live in fear. No, we got to let them live, because my 18-year-old might go to any college in football, anywhere in the world, but I gotta trust that I installed in some good things into him, how to make himself clearly understood, how to present himself well, you know, the perception. We was just talking about the perception of how people perceive you. It's not your fault on some things, but some things you got to be careful about, right? So we get to do those things. We got to do that things with them so they can have a successful life. And I'm sorry, I'm just lost for words. It's just.
I know, baby girl. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, girl, I see you. My heart is right there. You, Stephanie, Andrea, you next, because you know when we start talking, we just get overwhelmed. Even everyone is watching. It's like, this is another thing now. This is not a race, black, white, purple. This is mothers. Like the day your child is born, I have goosebumps. It's the most happiest thing, if that's a phrase, in your life. And then heaven, they're going to give you that phone call. Come and identify your child. This is a phone call you don't ever want to get. So Miss Andrea, I'm going to come to you. Miss Andrea, oh my God. Tell me about this, having the conversation. Because you guys, you probably saw my video when I said, I ain't having the talk. Miss Andrea, tell me what you feel about. What does that feel when you hear what Jania said about having that conversation with your child,
Yes. So I wholeheartedly agree. It's hard, but unfortunately, my 18-year-old friend, actually in Racine, Wisconsin, June of last year, he got murdered by the police there. So my conversation became personal, because now I have to explain to my son that his friend that was on his basketball team was riding his bike. He looked suspicious, so they say, and they shot him 4 to 5 times in the back. Then they turned him around and shot him in the forehead. So my conversation has been real for a while. And so for me, like Miss Moore, my son also plays football. He goes to school in Houston. And one of the things I tell him is I need it to be a group of civilized young men that you hang around with. And my son is so interesting, because he'll be like, Mom, I don't even know what to say. They pull you over, they ask you questions. Sometimes all you can do is answer the question. Don't act bad and big and bad, because I want you to come home. You got to open these Christmas gifts. I need you for more birthdays. So the conversation here has been tearful, because, you know, watching George take his last breaths, which I have a personal, Dr. Lulu knows my personal story with watching someone pass on, it triggered me. So I have decided not to partake in the videos. You know, like I'm like, if I see someone post a video, I just hide them because my soul can't take it. But the truth is, our children, they just don't understand. So I have now turned my kids over to the elders, my parents, my great aunts. I want you to talk to them. They protest. I have an uncle in Racine, Wisconsin in 1968. They had a race war, and my uncle was frontline. So, I mean, a race riot. I won't say war, a race riot. And my uncle was frontline. So that's who I'm turning them over to, because I know for me, I'm a very, I'm telling you, son, I'm telling you, daughter, this is it. And you're giving me the side eye. Let me go talk to someone who picked some cotton. Go talk to someone who lived in a house with 20 of them and ate, you know, my dad's thing, he loves rice. So rice and whatever, chicken for 28 days. Go talk to them. So what I'm learning is sometimes I have to reach outside of myself for them to understand.
Wow. And we have a couple of comments, and I didn't actually know, my eyes didn't go there at all. So I apologize. Miss Valerie, she's on a roll. She said, I'm so scared. Me and my whole family are from Puerto Rico, and I'm at a loss of words. I already experienced racism today because of me being from Puerto Rico. What am I supposed to do to say to my 4-year-old son? This is a great question, Miss Valerie. So I'm going to, Miss Stephanie, I don't want to throw you under the bus. I don't want you to put that way. But if you were in the same room with Miss Valerie, who says, what am I supposed to say to my son? How would you, as a mother, this is pure, we're all mothers here. How would you advise another mother? What would you say? Because everyone knows what I would say, but what would you say, Miss Stephanie? Do you even have anything to say? Like,
so, okay, I'm reading her, what she said. I'm trying to internalize this. So, well, what I think, and I have, my daughter is 16. She is an extreme empath. I'm very empathic. It's pretty painful, you know, of course, as an empath, as that's already been brought up. But, I mean, I think the bedrock needs to be laid, just that everybody, you know, the humanity of every person, the non-judgment, the non-superficiality, you know, and what we experience. I'm afraid a lot in the white culture is there's a superficiality and there's a judgment based on appearance. There's a something that happens where if it hasn't happened to you or someone you know closely, then it hasn't happened. And then that way we don't have to see what's really going on. So, I mean, I think that we just really start with my daughter. And you know, I don't know if this was the right way or the wrong way. I really don't. I went by my instinct. I did not label people to her for, you know, we didn't label, we didn't point out people based on physical characteristics, because we wanted her to see everybody as people first. Yes. We knew she would learn that, you know, about all the, you know, stuff that goes on in our society and time. And I knew from her empathy, her heart would be shredded by it. But you know, I think that, you know, charity begins at home, and, you know, it really depends. Sometimes I don't think we think about the way we talk about people that our children pick up on, how people get labeled, how just, you know, kids are always learning and hearing from us. So the first thing is just the day-to-day things, not even the purposeful talks that we have. And then when we start teaching about, you know, the bigger issues, the systemic racism and institutional, you know, racism and all of that kind of thing, those are things that we will do as they get older and they're able to understand more. But I mean, I hope I'm making sense here, but I think, you know, first of all, we just have to really think about how we are talking and what we are saying, and check our privilege, check our words. And, you know, there was something that Janaea said about that really, really hit me about how you talk to your boys about whether they should talk to people, white people. And I don't remember exactly how you said it, so I'm sorry if I mischaracterized it, but you know, I feel that sometimes that people are afraid to talk and have conversations with people, and I know it's based on previous experiences a lot of times. And so, you know, I know it's so important that when we go out with our young children, when I went out with my 4-year-old, we talk to everyone, we're friendly to everyone, we, you know, and so I noticed, and I have I had family at the time in East Texas, which still the scourge of racism is pretty heavy there. And I could tell the tension in that. If my child went over, I mean, I hate to say it, it's horrible, but when my child went in a playground and started playing with a little black girl, because that's just what she did, I could feel the tension on the playground from other white people, like, you know, what are you doing? You know, so, I mean, I think setting that example, normalizing things that should already be normal, talking is so important as a counselor. You know, I mean, I deep down feel like talking can solve so many problems. And I don't want to hog a whole lot of time, but, you know, I was really struck by a guy I met at a gas station recently, and he was hard on his luck. He was cleaning windshields with a spray bottle. And what he told me, he was an older black gentleman. And what he told me is nobody would really talk to him. And he appreciated that I talked to him. And I've carried him with me for months, wishing I would see him again so I could, you know, do more and talk to him more and everything. But I think that, you know, with children, we just got to set a good example, first of all. And we've got to make sure that what we are doing is, you know, if we have any internalized racism, we need to be aware of what we are doing, what we are saying, and bring them up, you know, the right way. This is not
well. So thank you. Yeah, I could tell, Miss Stephanie. I can tell it's difficult for you to say this, and it should be. It is normal for all of us. Like I said today on my page, it's not okay. What is that? It's okay to not be okay when things are not okay. I mean, it's okay. But you're not supposed to be okay. So I actually appreciate. Oh, girl, I see those hot flashes, girl. I love it. So I recognize the difficulty, because you know what? It should not be okay. I called this meeting because I was out of the need to do something. I said, let me just try. How about I talk to moms? How about I talk to moms? And I see Miss Jasmine is back in the building. Miss Jasmine, can we hear you now? Can you say hello?
So.
Let's see if we can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, wow, yay! I'm sorry, I kept you all on the edge.
No, this is live. We can't edit live. So I'm going to hop onto Jasmine. We're going to grab you and interview you real quick. So Jasmine, I know you're my friend on Facebook, and we all met in the moms group. Tell us real quick, who are you, how many kids you got, and why are you doing this? Why are you here today?
Okay, so hi everybody, and sorry I'm a little late. Better late than never, right? So my name is Jasmine. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful children, ages 5, 6, and I have a stepson that is 16.
Uh-oh.
Right. So I'm going to hop on to Miss Andrea. She just got this face that's just not moving. Andrea, I want your face when I grow up, okay, girl? You got face that's like, no. Like, all right. So, Miss Andrea, your question actually came from what Miss Stephanie said, and I love that. What will you say to the African Americans who have that flashback to Emmett Smith, who have that flashback to, I forget her name, Amy Cooper at the park 2 days ago, who have that flashback to comes to Stephanie as our low hanging fruit today, what will you say to those moms and those people, those Black people who, for good reason, really do not want to mess with white people because of this history of repeatedly having Karens of the world calling the popo on a kid who is selling water in the neighborhood? I mean, it's like there are too many. So what will you say? And I know, put me on the spot, girl, because I don't even know what I'll say, but what would you say? Just take a jab at it.
Oh man, take a jab at it. Well, first thing I would say is feel how you feel. I can't tell you that it's wrong. I can't, because I don't know your experience. So my experience and your experience is different. And once you feel how you feel, if it's your choice not to speak to the Karens, as they call them, if that's your choice, understand that at some point in your life, you may meet a Karen when you're in need. So you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to wait for someone else? Or are you just going to embrace the person that God has sent to you? See, sometimes we get the concept of people that we don't want or we don't like. And sometimes God sends them to you on purpose because he wants you to see, I understand your feeling. Look, feel how you feel. I understand your experience. However, everyone is not like that.
I love
everyone
that
is not like that.
Yeah, that actually brings it round to the racism itself. The fact that every Black man is not, no race is more criminal than the other. My sons went from cute little boys, they go from cute little boys in the house to now he's 16, he's 5'11", he's now suddenly a threat. Wait. He was my cute little boy. He still is my cute little boy, you know? And that's why in one of the Facebook groups that I went to, I said, I talked to them, all 112,000 of them. I said, I want you, next time you want to judge a Black boy, look at my face. Remember that they have a mother that doesn't want you to kill them and wants to see them at home. And then one of us mentioned birthdays. My son just had a birthday 2 or 3 days ago, and he would not celebrate his birthday because he was like, Mom, no, somebody's son just died. And then that made me realize, wait, is this going to be his last birthday with me? So this is such an important conversation that we're having. So Miss Andrea, thank you for saying feel how you feel, but you might meet a Karen someday when you're in need. Are you going to wait for the next person to come over? This is so important. Miss Jania, do you have anything to add to that? Because that's powerful right there.
And I just kind of want to touch on one other thing, not necessarily add because she said it so beautifully, but I just want to touch on the police officers. There was a time where I was in the car with my boys and got pulled over, and I was saying, sir, to the police officer, you know, the things that we tell our kids to do, I begin to do it, right? He said, can I get your driver's license? I said, is it okay if I reach behind my seat because my purse is behind my seat? He looked at me and like it took the breath out of him. And he said, go ahead. So I did that. He said, your insurance. I said, it's in my glove department. Is it okay if I reach in my glove department and get it? I could see him, the tears he was holding back, because he understood what I was doing. And because he wasn't like that, it hurted him. So I just had to touch on it. This is not a bashing video that we're doing. And I want to touch on the police officers that are fearful, are concerned, and really, 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 really does a good job. He almost cried.
Wow.
He literally almost cried and was like, I got a mom too. I understand. I have boys too. And this is what he said. And I didn't even get it until I saw him finna start crying, and he was telling me he has a family too. I didn't even get that I was doing, you know what I'm saying? What we said, be cautious, keep your hand up, don't move, you don't freeze. You know, have all your information right up here in your glove, you know, in your mirror right there, and ask for permission. The things that reality for those that really doing what they're supposed to do. It hurted him that I did that thing, because he was like, you don't have to fear me. I'm not going to hurt you. But
Yeah.
naturally so.
Yes, I'm having goosebumps listening to you, Jania, because
Mm-hmm.
you have nailed it. The truth is that there are more policemen out there who are good. As a matter of fact, somebody tagged me on one of the police officers' pages. I mean, I think he wrote something so thoughtful about being a police officer, why he always wanted to be a police officer his whole life, and now he's won, and now look what he has to deal with, you know. But that is the reality of it, and it's unfortunate that yeah, I don't know if there's going to be an end to it. My only hope and my prayer is we're not doing this thing as a case of, okay, we're all going to do it now while this is still fresh in our minds, and then in about 2 or 3 weeks we'll forget about it. It's business as usual till another George Floyd comes along, till another Sandra Bland, till another Trayvon Martin. Welcome, Jasmine. Maybe we can all will Jasmine to stay. Can you say something?
Somebody is.
Can you hear
Can't
me?
hear me.
Yes,
We
yes.
can hear you. Yes.
Oh my
Jasmine.
goodness. Once when I'm like, finally my phone dies. You know, from trying so much. So I'm like, no, somebody's determined or have me not talk, not say anything, I guess, at all. But I have too much to say, so I keep coming back.
That's right. You know what? You are the ultimate comeback kid. I love that. And you know what? This is exactly what we're talking about. I want to leave the stage for you for the next 10 minutes, Jasmine. You deserve it. So, Miss Jasmine, I know you were saying you were introducing yourself. Just carry on. Just keep going.
Oh my God.
I'm done.
Oh.
Are you serious? Jasmine? Jasmine? All right. So you know what they say, the beat goes on. Stephanie, you're up. So Miss Stephanie, well, I have to ask you this from one mother to another because I am an empath, like we said. How are you doing? Feel free to end this. Just do that for me if it's too much, because again, like Miss Jania rightfully said, and Jania, thank you for reading our minds. This is not a bashing. It never was. It never was. Otherwise, I would have just called Jania and Andrea and just had a talk. But I wanted all races. I wanted to get Jasmine from, you know, from that angle so that people also see a Hispanic woman. I was looking for an Asian woman today and I couldn't find one. So that was my dream. And maybe next time I'll find an Asian mom. So Stephanie, if you feel you need to call a timeout, please let me know and I'll call a timeout for you. Okay, Mama? So how are you doing so far with the talk so far? How are you doing?
Are you talking to me? How am I doing?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So far,
okay. Just want to make sure. Well, one thing I would like to say is I've been doing a lot of thinking and processing this week. I've done some writing on this, and you know, I really what I've been talking to a lot of people I know about is being defensive. And, you know, building walls by not acknowledging what's really going on. And that is just a huge, huge problem. I mean, I knew it was a problem before, but oh my gosh, I've seen it just up close and personal on my post. And the, you know, guilt, whatever, fragility, you know, being fragile, which the white community can be very fragile about being fragile. So anyway, but I think some of the things we're dealing with are the superficiality of the, you know, there's a cultural kind of superficiality we have. And if you know, like if you wear a flag lapel pin, you're patriotic. I mean, never mind what else you do. Or, you know, if you're in a three-piece suit, you know, and you're a white guy, you must be a good guy. And, you know, you could be looting the country literally in white collar crime or whatever. But, you know, so, I mean, I kind of live for the day that we look at a businessman and say, I wonder what he stole, instead of always, you know, because I mean, I could, you know, we can have other conversations at a later time about this, but I grew up around some really racist people. And I've heard a lot of horrible stuff and racist stuff, and you know, and I see the just the superficiality that exists in some of the white community, and I see the defensiveness that they're, you know, they don't allow themselves to really see things for how they are, because then they may be culpable. They, you know, in some way. I am seeing that, I'm seeing a little progress. I have to say, some people have really surprised me in the past few days, posting things I never thought I would see them post, and taking some risk to do so in terms of, I've lost friends this week. Well, I'm okay with that. I have friends who've lost friends. I've gained some friends, so that's really cool. You took one of the spaces that Dr. Lulu that was vacated on my friends list. But so and when you're talking about not if like a young Black guy is not sure whether he should talk to somebody who looks like a Karen, I totally get that. I totally understand why that would be a concern. And I try to bridge that. I try to always be the non-Karen as much as I can, realizing I'm imperfect, but the more conversations that we can have, I think this is super powerful to be able to be sitting here and having these conversations, and be talking about this and be putting it out there and be just breaking down some of the barriers to this whole issue and that people put up so they don't have to deal with it. They don't have to see it. And, it's just so important. And I'm so grateful to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I can't sing it enough. I said it from the get-go. You came on and you were like, pick me. And I was like, sure. So we have Miss Mylene. I want to say, is it Milene or Mylene?
Milene. I'm Milene.
Milene. Buenas tardes, mi amor. So Miss Milene, mi amor, Miss Milene literally saw me saying we were trying to get a Hispanic person so nobody thinks, I can't believe they put that poor lady there, because you can do good all you want. There's gonna be one person, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna block that person and delete their comments, because the whole idea was not to do that. And Milene said, I'm Hispanic. And she was like, I said, you want to come? You said, yes. I said, here it is. And then here she is. So quick intro, how you doing? With regards to, your, first of all, who you are and how you're doing, honestly, as a Hispanic female in America right now.
Okay. Well, I'm a Hispanic female from Athens, Georgia. And I'm an internist. I've seen you, Dr. Lulu, in your work. I think you work with suicidal teenagers. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I gotcha. Okay. So these last few days have just been super emotional for me. It's like it's not police, pro-police, against police. Anyone that sees that video, a man who's got his knee stuck in his neck. I'm like, how can anybody? I'm realizing I'm part of the problem. If I don't speak up and use my voice to tell people that it is wrong. When Ahmaud was killed, I looked at that. I hate the news. I'll be the first one to tell you. I don't look at the news. I don't like all that negativity. And when I found that I could do something, I went and ran my 2.23 miles and felt better. And looking at that video of that man with having his knee in his neck and him saying, I can't breathe. I saw this video, a TED talk on don't be color blind, be color brave, put yourself out there, do something. Because we all think that, I'm one voice. I'm a little teardrop in this huge ocean, right? How can I possibly make a difference? But I can make a difference. I can use my voice and I can say enough is enough. And I can say, you know what? Racism exists. I see it. And, as much as I don't want it to exist, it does. And if I call it out every single time I see it, at least that's one other person that is saying, okay, this isn't right. And I don't think all cops are bad. I've got friends that are in the police force. I don't think that there's any way that we can generalize about any race or about any profession or about anything. I think it's about being human. You know what? I don't blame them for rioting. They've tried to be nice. African Americans, blacks, I don't even know what the politically correct term is. I don't care. I just want to say that I see you and my heart bleeds for you. And of course they're angry. Because we've tried doing this in a non-violent way. You know, yes, people are going to die unless America wakes up, unless white people wake up and make it their mission to make a difference. And is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. I posted this was confirmation for me. I posted a video and I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? My brain's just been going, okay, what message do I want to send? I found this TED Talk of Melody Hobson. I don't know if y'all have seen her TED Talk where she talks about don't be colorblind, be color brave, about what it is that we need to do in order to bring attention to this subject. And I thought that's something that I can do. I'm going to repost this video and I'm going to, you know, put my heart out. I got 8 likes. Within 12, about 12 hours, I posted another video where I decided, I said, you know what? I need to change my profile picture because it's this cartoon character. And you know what? I don't feel like a cartoon character. So I changed my profile picture. And my profile picture has like 100 likes in less than like 3 hours. I'm like, really, people? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love something about racism and I get 9 likes. I post my picture of me and I get all these comments about how beautiful I am.
Let me tell you how you fix
it. Okay, so my spirit still isn't broken. I thought, tell me.
Hello? Oh.
I posted another video. Let me tell you what I did. I posted another video. I don't know if you've seen the video from the US track and field that talks about racism, and it's got this black screen and it says, do something, you have to do something. This is our problem. This is our nation's problem. And I even put in the caption, I got 72 likes on my picture. Let's see how many likes this will get. I still have only gotten like 10 likes and it's been about 12 hours again.
So baby girl, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have to pick some new friends. And you know what they call bravery means doing it afraid. Courage means doing it afraid. I'm not saying you should do this necessarily, but that just tells you the kind of people that this, you know, in Nigeria, there's a proverb that says, it is good for the wind to blow. So we can see what lies beneath the feathers of the chicken, you know, at the tail of the chicken. When there's a big wind and you can see what's going on in the feathers of the chicken. Otherwise it's covered. So now you're seeing, you know, the feather. And I think everyone here knows that I put that post and I said, dear white friends, share this. I have 30 friends on Facebook. I got about 270, maybe 300 shares. Thank God. But not all of them were white. Some of them were black people. You know, in other words, I'm happy that white people did. So what I'm saying
you're breaking in and out.
I'm acknowledging those that were able to share. But still, I'm saying for those who could not share, maybe they have enough time, because if you are quiet now, if you are really quiet now, you are part of the problem. There's no way around it. There's no roundabout way to say this. You are part of the problem. Right. But I love what you said. I love what you said about don't be colorblind, be color brave. So I'm going to look that up. The second thing I like is that you are an internist, so you're a doctor like me. So this is awesome. But the third thing is, have you seen the TEDx talk? And anybody can see this TEDx talk that's by Mr. Baratunde Thurston. It's called Fighting Racism One Person at a Time. That's a black guy talking about how his name is Baratunde, which is a Nigerian name. And then his, what does he say? His middle name is a Muslim name. And then his last name is from England. And how his mother said she probably had a sense of humor because he's going to be stopped at the airport every time he presents his passport. The people are talking, you know, like, this is a reality for this guy. Okay, this is reality for him. So what I'm saying is, I love that you are challenging your friends. You need to. Go and keep going at it. Keep going at it. I mean, you can't make people do what they don't want to do, ultimately, you know. But keep going at it, and kudos to you for persisting, because I didn't even think about the way you said it. It makes sense, right? You posted this and you noticed that there was a paucity of comments. Then you posted something else and you noticed that there was more. And that's and then people will tell you, oh, maybe it's the algorithm. No, it's not algorithm, nothing. People, they are looking at like, what is she doing? Why is she saying that? You know, like Miss Stephanie said, people are like, why is your child playing with those kids? Why? Forgetting that every baby is born 6 pounds, 8 ounces-ish, and they're all friends until life. happens, and it makes them to like, wait, you're a different color. What's going on? Because of what they hear at home. And it was definitely that said charity begins at home. And that is so true. So we're going to round up because I promised you guys it was going to be an hour. And Miss Jania Moore, bless her heart, is in the process of moving. And she stopped, pulled over so she could do this. So Jania Moore, you know where my heart is, for where you belong, where in my heart. So Miss Jania, we're going to start with you. Any parting words, no, I won't call them final words because they're not, but I don't know, words of wisdom.
Yes, for one, I want to say thank you to the ladies, to my sisters, to the moms that came on. Thank you, Dr. Lulu. You're so mamatricianist. You're such my friend. I love you so much and support you in so many ways. Listen, we just have to continue to do things like this and have open up an opportunity for others to speak freely and tell their truth and their lives and how they live, as well as just encouraging people to be more bold and stand in their own homes and stand where they need to stand and speak up for others that need they're speaking up for. And that's for on any type of platform. So let's just continue to uplift each other. Let's continue to pray for the family members that's lost and those that it's so much, even, in the medical field is going through all that stuff. Everybody's going through so many things in this season. So let's just continue to uplift with that, but as well as put the truth out there and just continue to put the truth out there. So thank you, Miss Stephanie. You got another friend in us. Don't worry about those other people. And we're going to continue to do great things. So that's it. Appreciate you guys.
So nice to meet you.
Bye, Miss Jenny. If you need to leave, that's okay, Jenny. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Stephanie. And then there were two, right? So, Miss Stephanie, just any going away words? Any going away words?
I think that what I want to say to my fellow white people is this is not a white versus black issue. It's an issue of all of us against racism, systemic racism. It's I think it's really an uncomfortable topic for some, but I don't think change happens with comfort, unfortunately. It would be nice if it did. I think it happens with a relative amount of discomfort and having to think through where you've been, having to think through how you were raised, having to think through, Granny might have been a, hell of a racist. She might have been nice to you, but those are hard thoughts to think. It's easy to be nice to people you like, and like you. It's for some people to kind of process that, but so I think we need to find our better selves. I think we need to decide, do we remain silent and let injustice occur, or do we choose to step up? And even if we don't know exactly how to do it or exactly what to say, I think fear, there's a certain amount of fear, that we're going to say the wrong thing or we're going to do the wrong thing or something. But I think we've got to do something. I think, and certainly listening, wanting to listen, wanting to hear things that may not be comfortable for us to hear. Let the guard down, let the defensiveness down. And, because like I alluded to earlier, I posted some things and I immediately saw the defensiveness, the shield come up and, why should I be guilty and blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, that is the problem. I mean, in our culture is we're so defensive about this issue and we've got to let it go. And we've got to be willing to listen. We've got to be willing to learn. We've got to be, willing to talk to people who we may not think are like us. We're all a lot more alike than we think if we get to know people as people. And so, that's just the thoughts that I've been thinking. And we need to look around and say, how can I help?
How can I help? That is the most important words in the world. That is the difference between empathy and compassion. That phrase, how can I help? Empathy means I feel your pain, but compassion means how can I help? And that's why till I die, compassion is the big brother of empathy. And Miss Milene, thank you so much. Miss Milene said she had a bad connection. She said, amen to you. She said, it's not up to the victim to stand up. This is true. She said, it's our job. White people need to stand up. And then she said, the way to fearless is to understand more. Okay, exactly. How can I help? That's Miss Valerie said that. And Noble said, keep pushing to extinct the mentality of hating others or discriminating others. I mean, this is it. This is it. So we had all 6 people stay to the end. So for that, I'm grateful. Stephanie, I cannot thank you enough. You definitely have a new friend in me. And when all of this is over, we're going to have a soda together. You know what? Because I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. But either I'll drink water and I'll drink a soda in a minute. So we'll let the fall where they may. I'm going to take a picture with you and I'm going to put it on blast. And you know what? If they don't like it, I don't care. And on that note, folks, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician, coming at y'all feeling a whole lot better than I was before this event. I really wasn't sure where I was going to go, but I'm so happy that we did it. We stayed to the end. And thank you for Miss Jasmine for trying to come on. I could just tell you were just trying. Thank you to Miss Valerie, who stayed to the end, and then Noble, who stayed to the end, and then Milene, who was my girl. She's also a doctor like us. And thank you for joining, Milene, for putting a voice, because it was important for us that people know that this is for everybody. And of course, to Andrea and Jania, thank you all so much. And then Miss Stephanie, last but definitely not the least, muchísimas gracias. Until next week, folks. Maybe I'll bring dads next week. We'll see. All right. Bye.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.